Lone Star College and Houston Community College. And I really wasn't very aware of Capernaum at all. And it was quite a surprise. It is a little bit, it's not especially intuitive. Well, that's one of the ways of describing it. But the more that I have been working on it, and I am, I guess, blessed that it's part of my job, so I have to learn it. I guess I've been able to get a better idea of why is it that sometimes people struggle with it, right? And hopefully, we'll be able to dispel some of those situations, those issues in this class today. And the title of the class, by the way, or the presentation is, let's see, reviews. There you go. What all PCLs need to know. Now, let me just say what the subtitle, what all PCLs need to know. That part of the way that the chain of training ideal, right, in the ideal world, and I know we don't live there, but in the ideal world, what the vision of the chancery is that we, the staff in the chancery, were there to train you, and then you to train your catechists, right? So that's why I titled this one, what all PCLs need to know, right? So that idea, because remember, when it comes to Capernaum, what you need to be thinking about is not only how do I get by with it, but, am I training my catechists? Am I making sure that my catechists are up to speed with Capernaum? And can I, even use Capernaum, for my own, to help me in my ministry in some ways? Okay, so that is the vision. That's the vision of the chancery. What's a PCL? Okay, very good, Michelle. A PCL is that's what we call is parish catechetical leader. Okay, parish catechetical leader. So that's what we call, like we would call you. Now, who's a catechetical leader? Anyone that is in a position of leadership in the parish, in the catechetical programs. A person that is in charge of baptismal classes, a person sacramental preparation, or the person that is the coordinator of catechists, or a person that is, the administrative of the catechetical program. All the people that are in a position of leadership, that's what we call PCLs, or parish catechetical leader. Okay, so yeah, so that the idea again being that the vision at least is that we are there to train you guys, train PCLs. All of you are PCLs. And then ideally you would pass that on to in the parish level. Not that we don't enjoy helping catechists directly, but I can tell you that the more popular I'm getting, I'm getting to be known as the Capernaum guy for catechists, and I'm getting a substantial amount of emails. And of course, as much as I enjoy responding to them and calling and all of that, sometimes I just don't have enough time. And sometimes, so that's why ideally you would be able to answer some of these questions. But anyways, now, what is Capernaum? And the official title or the official description is Learning Management Software. Okay, LMS. That's what they call LMS. Is a program that is used by schools, by universities, by colleges, at this point by elementary schools, in schools. That's a tool that modern schools are using, especially after the pandemic. Every school that went virtual had to use that learning management software. Google Classroom is a learning management software, because that's the way that you manage the learning, I suppose, of the students. Okay, so what are the functions of a learning management software? Well, one of them certainly is to keep the records of all the learners' education. So that is certainly, a byproduct of what a LMS, learning management software, is. you're able to keep the records, and because you're able to keep the records, you can figure out when someone has completed a milestone in their formation. For our purposes, the milestones are the different levels of catechist certification. Right? Soon, and in fact, you are going to be, I suppose, the first class, I suppose, or the first cohort of what will eventually be known as the Catechetical Leaders certification program. Okay, just like there is now a certification process for catechists, we are working on developing a certification process for catechetical leaders. Okay. Now, this is actually important, not only because it would ensure that everyone that is certified has a common view, knows what is expected of those that are in ministry in the Archdiocese of Houston, would also have, we believe, a higher ability to respond to the needs presented by a specific church in Houston, and all of that. So that's part of the idea. Why? But in the more practical way, somebody that will be certified as a catechetical leader, for instance, if you do not happen to have a master's in theology, or a master's in pastoral studies, or a bachelor's in something pastoral, oftentimes, when you go to apply for a job, the pastor might say, "Okay, well, what can you show me some kind of degree or program that you have completed?" And oftentimes, when we don't have those degrees, the answer is, well, no, I can't. I know a lot, and just can't show you a paper, right? Well, this seeks to be in a way, a substitute for that. So hopefully, it will also be interesting, right? And so this program is the entryway for that certification program. So you're already, on your way for it. Okay, but so anyways, so Capernaum it keeps the records of all learners' education. And it is also the registration hub for all educational programs organized by archdiocesan offices, right? So it's like the place where everyone goes to register. Once again, it is the place where all the advertisements are made, right? All the links, when you go to the archdiocesan website, whenever there's a program and says register here, sends you to Capernaum, right? Which makes it especially important that you have a Capernaum account, because if you don't have a Capernaum account, then you're not getting to the information. You're not being able to register to anything, at least nothing that is organized by the Archdiocese. As I am saying this, I am painfully aware that there is one exception, and it's when we have like mass events. Apparently, what the Chancery has decided is that we are going to use a program that is called SUGO, which is the one that we used last week. That is the one that we used last week, that allows people to register. That when they register, they can select, this workshop and that workshop and that kind of stuff. So, but even that, eventually, right now, part of what we will be doing is to make sure that everyone that registered in that program and attended that event, that they get the proper records, which is not going to be an easy task, because a lot of catechists do not know their information, their Capernaum information. And of course, if they don't know it, well, then they didn't, give me their information. So we need to figure that out. But also, the other thing that Capernaum is sort of the brain or the memory with all the online education is stored. You may be already aware of it, because this is probably part of what your kids and grandkids and nephews and sisters and brothers had to do during the pandemic. That there's a lot of online education nowadays. And so there is a good amount of that in Capernaum, online education, meaning that it is not led by an instructor, but you go there and there's a series of videos and tasks and quizzes, and then you complete your education. That's what we call online education, okay? And where is all that? In Capernaum. So that's what Capernaum is, okay? Any comments or questions about what it is and what it isn't? I know that you want a good demonstration, something more substantial, so let's go, right? But how do I learn to use it? Well, practice, practice, practice. Just use it, right? Use it, just use it. That's the very important part. You have to use it. Something very important for you and for you, remember that you in this class you're not only thinking about yourself, but you're thinking about your catechists too. Something very important is that hopefully you are all familiar with this page. But there is a thing that is called the new user. Something went wrong. Well, okay, new user orientation. Okay, so in theory, at least, every time that somebody creates an account, this class should already be assigned to you. It would be great. How many of you have completed that, by the way? The new user orientation. Veronica, I know you did take it, right?
I believe I did.
You believe you did. Okay. Did it help at all?
Well, I listened to it and it checked marked all the boxes, but now I need more training.
I get it. But anyways, but this is one thing that is available, right? For the new user, just go in there and just type new user, and then you click on it, and then you request it, right? In this case, because it's free, all you have to do is to request it, and immediately you will have access to it. Okay. Of course, right now my computer is extra slow, just for kids. There it is. Okay. So then I have the click here that says Open Curriculum, and that would get me into the automated, right? It's without a teacher. It is not through Zoom. It is an automated curriculum. Okay. So that's one more thing that Capernaum is. Okay. So now, how can I get some of the training I need? Well, one of them is this. Did you know that there is a YouTube channel with a bunch of videos? The link is right there. By the way,
how much do you want?
A YouTube channel.
Don't bite her.
Huh? A YouTube channel. Okay. So it's basically just like anyone has a place in YouTube where you can store your videos. Well, Capernaum also has all of these videos right here. Okay. And yes, I know that they're not, they're out of order and you may not know where to start. That's fine. But if you're looking for something specific, this is a good place to know, to know where it is. So, and just by the way, when you have access to the class, this slideshow is right here. It's saved right here, okay, in 2.1. So you don't feel like you need to be trying to take notes or to be copying or wondering when you're gonna get the links. No, the PowerPoint is right here, and you always will have access to it. Okay. So the YouTube channel. Now there's another place where there are some selected videos for Capernaum. Which is this one. Actually, let me get out of here, but to show you how to get there. But anyone knows how to find Capernaum once you come to the website for the Archdiocese? Anybody knows which link leads you to Capernaum? Guess I'm giving you a hint.
Resources.
There you go. All right, I knew you knew it. So, and you can always find it here, Capernaum Online Learning. Okay. Now that's a great place to start and to tell your catechists to teach them how to find it on their diocesan page. For several reasons. One of them is because you have this little need help button here, and because if you scroll down, you have first in the form of text, but then in the form of video, instructional videos. Welcome to Capernaum. I've taken courses with the Archdiocese before. How do I access my account? How do I log in? What if I forgot my username? And all of these are, videos where they show you on the screen where to click, what to do, and that kind of stuff. So not only that, but here, if you change to Spanish, well, you have the same options in Spanish. And if you prefer Vietnamese, I assume that is exactly the same thing, right? But I don't know any Vietnamese, so what would I know? It's supposed to be the video, but I wonder if I guess they don't have the videos in Vietnamese. But anyways, all right. So, so that's one of the reasons why to look for Capernaum from the Archdiocesan website. Another reason to teach your catechists is because if they become familiar with all the different resources we have, that would be a plus, right? Now, most people, and I know this because this is what they tell me, they usually just go to Google and Google Capernaum, right? And of course, the first thing that will come up is, the place in Turkey called Capernaum where Jesus taught his disciples, right? So not only your catechists are going to lose a little bit more of time if they go through different ways to find Capernaum, but hopefully this way they will be more familiar with the Archdiocesan website. So that's two ways to find visual aids to figure out Capernaum. But there's another one. You can call or email. This is the email for Capernaum support. That's a little bit of a mystery to me, who's the one that is in charge of answering those emails. But I believe that somebody is on the other side, right? So the email is right here, is capsupport@archgh.org. So you can send an email there with any type of question or problem that you have. But also, there's 4 other people, actual people that you can contact. The first one is Brian Henritzi, who's the guy in these videos. He's the director of Capernaum. This guy, right? Is Brian Henritzi. He works for the Office of Adolescent Catechesis, but he's also the director of Capernaum. So you can call him or email him. I will put the link here to his email and his phone number after the class, right? Now, that is outside of the Office of Evangelization and Catechesis. But within the Office of Evangelization and Catechesis, you have two resources more. The first one is Brian Garcia Luenzi, who's part of the staff together with me. But he really knows everything about Capernaum because he was part of the team that developed it. So if you have any more complex questions, he can definitely help you. And he has also access to all the features you might need. For instance, what kind of features would you need? Well, maybe you've noticed that there's a lot of stuff missing from your account because you've been a catechist for a long time and you don't see everything just yet. Well, it is possible that you have multiple accounts. Now, Brian and also the person below, Erica, they have the ability in Capernaum to look for your accounts and merge them into one. Now, why would there be multiple accounts? Well, there's different reasons, but the more common reason is if you were in ministry and you had a record before Capernaum became operational in 2018 or so. So if you took classes in 2014, 2015, 2013, what happened is when Capernaum became operational, all of those records in paper were transferred to Capernaum. So even if you've never created an account in Capernaum, you already have an account with all those records, and all those records were transferred. But since you don't know that the account exists, chances are that you maybe went and created a new account. And so now you have multiple accounts, right? That's another reason for possible confusions, but we'll go into that. Okay, but so who is the person that can help you untangle that situation? Brian and Erica. Okay. Especially Erica. Erica would be like I want to highlight her because she's one of the administrative assistants. She's full time, and she's the one that is next to the phone, all day, basically waiting to help you out. So if you're looking for the faster way to enter, now if you ask for something that she cannot do, then she can definitely get with Brian, and she will figure it out. Okay.
So what happened with my stuff?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
And this is the disadvantage, Mary, because I spent the past month preparing for the day of evangelization and catechesis, so I haven't had enough time to fully, answer all the questions that I have from catechists. That's why I say, as much as I love helping you, sometimes, if there is something coming up, right, it's just a little bit hard for me to keep up with it. That being said, Erica, she's next to the phone all day, right? But in your case, I know we discussed it, and so I will take care of it, but I just haven't been back to the office. I'll be back to the office starting tomorrow, so give me a few days, and I'll get back to you. Okay. All right, so, and of course, I am here, but I'm here last. Again, because I'm a little behind already. So, if you don't mind waiting, I'll help you out. But ideally, so who's the person that you should be contacting for faster response? Eric, right? Eric. So, so at least I hope this is, something again that information for you to keep, and for you to be able to resolve some situations that you're not able to resolve on your own. Okay. So, why do people have such a hard time with it? But there's different reasons, but one of the more common ones is because people are not, constantly accessing it. They forget which email account they use to sign up. I can't tell you how many times I've had, people saying, well, this thing doesn't work, and I keep putting my password and it doesn't work, and I'm sure it's my password because I wrote it down. And then when we dig, what was wrong was the email account, right? Because, nowadays we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's, that's not even counting the emails at work. So sometimes it's hard to keep track of that. So that's one of the reasons. Another possible reason is that accounts go inactive due to inactivity. So if someone created an account last year and they forgot the email or the password and they haven't accessed it and just thought, well, later on, I'll get into it later. After a year of inactivity, the account goes inactive. And then, of course, now your email and your password don't work anymore. So that's something, to be able to answer to your catechist. Why can I answer? Well, are you 100% sure that this is the email that you used? How long ago was the last time that you entered your account? Because if it was more than 1 year, it is inactive. And the only way to access it is by getting in touch with Erica, asking her to set her to active again, and then your email might work again. Your account will work again. She can also help you set up a new password and everything. Okay. Like I said, another of the reasons why it is, people have some trouble with it is because people have multiple accounts. One of them is, because they again, there was an account created automatically when in their store was transferred. Or another reason is, again, if sometimes if people try, and then, they don't know that account went inactive, so they go and create another account, and now you have 3 accounts running around. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, now, those are the more user situations that, from the point of view of a user, that complex it. But the truth is that Capernaum is a very complex piece of software. And so sometimes one more thing that we need to get used to is even the names, the nomenclature, the titles that they gave certain things. And so, like, for instance, I'm pretty sure that you guys still have not necessarily figured out, maybe not all of you, that for every single session of this class, you're supposed to go and choose a session, select a session. Let me ask you, how many of you selected a session when you register? Because remember that you registered for the class, right? But then you still have to select the session for month 1. Well, you're also supposed to select the session for month 2. There's 2 sessions, the English and the Spanish one. So that's why the system, is giving you the benefit of the doubt, saying, well, there's more than 1 session. So which one do you want to attend? But anyways, that's that example mostly to acknowledge that it is a very complex piece of software, and that is not necessarily the most intuitive type of thing. Now, let me just give a little bit of an explanation here on the differences between VILT and ILT classes. You don't need to remember the words, right? But the difference is basically this. VILT is what we're doing right now. It's virtual instructor-led training. The virtual instructor-led training. Okay. Now remember that's what we're making the differentiation between online training. The online training is like the new user orientation. It's automated, so you never talk to anybody there. So it is not instructor-led; it's Capernaum-led, so to speak. Right? Now, in this case, the V is virtual. So because we're doing it through Zoom, and that's what I say. That's what I'm saying. That sometimes the people that created, Capernaum, one of their errors, I think, was that they did not use the words the terms that we would more commonly use, because when all is said and done, what do we say? It's on Zoom, right? But for Capernaum, that is virtual instructor-led training. Now, there is also ILT. So it's the same thing without the V. So anybody wants to guess what that means? Instructor-led training. All right. Now that refers face-to-face. That's what we now say. Is it in person? Yes, it is in person. Okay. So there are events in Capernaum, and you register for them, to where you will never see an instructor. Those are called online classes. There are those Zoom classes. In Capernaum, you also register for events that will happen in person in the chancery, maybe a catechetical module. You have sometimes catechetical modules that are also offered as online class, meaning that you will never talk to any real person. And then you also have curriculums, which is like this one. A curriculum is like a longer class, and there are several parts included, right? And then there's also, an assignment here, and there you have a discussion. And so whenever it says curriculum, it means multiple pieces, multiple classes, multiple assignments, multiple this. And so whenever you buy a curriculum, you have to remember that, because it has multiple parts, and the parts are offered at different times in different languages. Every time, every session, you have to select the session that you will, that you will attend. Okay. So, anyway, this part was probably the most confusing one so far, right? Did I confuse you, or does that help at least to know the different types of classes? Is that helping?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right. Good. So, So anyway, so these are the different types of classes that Capernaum has. And again, although for us, might not make much of a difference, for Capernaum, everything makes a difference. So again, the curriculum is made of different things, but events are basically is what we would usually call classes. We would probably say, the sessions. What we would usually call a course like the catechetical module. One catechetical module is an event. It's an event that is taught multiple times, and so every time that it is taught, this event is called a session of this event. Okay. So that's why you may come across that language. But so when it says sessions, it's referring to the session of Monday night, the session in English, the session, it's a different session of the same thing. The event is a class that is taught in many different ways, in many different times. So the catechetical modules, each catechetical module is an event, and then every time that it is taught, it is a session. Okay. So, anyways, I'm sure that this is going to be a little bit more complicated part, but we are about to move on to a demonstration. So, just bear with me. Okay. All right. So, knowing that Capernaum is a complex piece of software, that sometimes it doesn't uses the same words that we would normally use. Well, okay. All right. So what is it that I need to know from Capernaum? What are the most important parts of Capernaum? So if you need to be able, of course, to log into this page, which is the learner home. You're probably familiar with the search learning bar, right? Because this is how you signed up for this class. So at the very least, you know how to go that. But as a catechetical leader, before we worry about any of the particular trainings or classes, there is one part of our own personal account and the accounts of our catechists that is key, that is very, 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 very important. And that is the user record. Okay. And there's two ways to access the user record. One is, you see here this menu. So you see this little menu here at the corner. You can go directly to the user record, which is this one. Ideally, you have your picture. And this is what I'm telling you. Sometimes Capernaum did not use the same words that we would use for other things. But this is the profile. You know how in Facebook we have our profile? So that's where you have your email, your information, the things that identify you. But instead of calling it the profile, they called it the user record. Okay. Now, why is this so important? Now, so this is one way to find it. But let me show you another way to find it. Another way to find it is to click on the picture here, or the icon where the picture should be. And that brings me to my bio. Okay. So this is like the summary. But the user record, I find it here at the top. User record. Now, something I want you to notice is the following. Okay? If I wanted to change my information here, there is no blue button here that says edit record. Mm-hmm. If I select it on top, then edit record appears here. That is going to throw you off. Okay. If you ever in a situation when you're seeing somebody's profile or your own profile, and you don't have the button to edit record, the reason is that you need to select it up here, user record. And remember, this class is being recorded, so you can go back and rewatch it. Now, the part that is extremely important is, well, first of all, that you keep the correct address, and your phone number and an email address. it is very, very important that people know what information they used in their account. Because if they call me and say, hey, Miguel, my stuff is not there, the first thing I'm going to try to do is try to identify, look for the person. And if the address is incorrect, that's what I'm first going to ask. What is your address? What is your name? Well, Maria Garcia. All right. Well, I have 20 Maria Garcias. Which one is yours? Right. Well, then you have to go, what is your address? But if the address that you're giving me right now is your new address, but not the address when you first, created your account, well, I'm not going to find you. Same thing with the phone number. I say, okay, well, I couldn't find you by the email address. So what is your phone number? If you gave me an old phone number that you had, without a lot, right? So it is very important that you help your catechist get acquainted with this part of the information. But especially as a catechetical leader, you need to be worried with what it says here, organization structure. Okay, because this is the way that Capernaum is going to connect you with other people from your parish. And that is very, very important. Because imagine if you tell me, Miguel, I want to take the catechetical modules to my parish. And you say, hey, but I have too many catechists. And so if we open the training to everyone in the chancery, I'm not going to have enough space for my catechists. Here's what I'm going to suggest that we do. When I create the training, I will make it exclusive for catechist people of St. Ambrose. But if you're catechist, right? If you're a catechist and you are here when it says ministry location, if it doesn't say St. Ambrose, guess what? Your catechists are never going to find it. Okay. So it is important that Capernaum is able to identify everyone that is a catechist from St. Ambrose and everyone that is a catechetical leader from St. Ambrose. So I don't know if you have your account open. This is something that you can do. Just click on edit record. Notice that you can change everything. You can change your name, your middle name, your username. You can come up with something that you can remember, right? I mean, the system assigns you a number, or the system assigns you, a name that you typed at the moment when you created the account. You could change it. We do not recommend it, right? Because then you might create some confusion. But this is where you can update your address yourself. So you don't have to call anybody to update your address. But if you keep scrolling down, you will notice here that there are some spaces. And the important, in this case, because I am an employee of the church, the employment location, it says a place where I am an employee of. If you are an employee of of any parish, you need to select it. So you would click right in this little square here, and then you would select there the parish that you work for, and that's how you would add it. Okay, so that is important. If you are an employee, it should say that whom you are an employee of for what church. And this is also important. Ministry role. Notice that it says PCL YML. Parish Catechetical Leader, Youth Minister Leader, something like that. Youth Minister, right? So this is for PCLs, for DREs, for sacramental preparation. So this is giving you, this is important because there is one access. You will have access to reports from Capernaum, but only if your ministry role is set to PCL YML. Because what this is telling Capernaum, this is not just a volunteer, this is not just a catechist, this is a person that is managing catechists. So this will allow you to have some reports of all the people that are, in Capernaum for that particular parish. Okay. Any questions? Everybody knows how to look for it? Now, in this particular case, my account does not have a ministry location because, again, I am fixed to St. Dominic Center. But if there is a place where you are a volunteer, when you're part of the ministry, so your catechists, this is the box that they need, and you yourself, you also can put it here, ministry location. So I can look for, I don't know, St. Mark, and then I click search. Okay, I didn't type it correctly, so maybe I have to get rid of the ST. Mark. Yeah, so it found St. Mark the Evangelist. So I click on it, and now it says that my ministry location is St. Mark the Evangelist. Now that is again, this is the most important feature part that you need to make sure that all your catechists have set to the right location. Because this is how this is going to work. If you are set to PCL of St. Mark, then Capernaum will know that you have the right to see the records of people with ministry location St. Mark. Okay, so one of your concrete goals after tonight will be to try to get with your catechist and try to make sure that they know to set this part of the user what is it? The user record, which is the profile, and set it to the right ministry location. Okay. Another possible use, hey, we want Miguel in our parish. We're gonna bring the modules. And we're going to pay the instructor. So we want for our catechists not to pay a cent. We want them to go for free. What I would do is to tell Capernaum, okay, we're going to teach this module in this place. And everyone whose ministry location is set to St. Mark, don't charge them. So there are some very practical applications of why you catechists really need to have ministry location set. Of course, after doing that, you have other options here, right? But that's the one that I wanted to focus on. You can just click. Well, I'm going to click cancel. You will have to click save. So I don't want to change anything on my profile. Okay. Does that is that clear? Any questions? Any follow-up questions? Marie, did you raise your hand or were you just scratching your head?
A little bit of both. I guess one of my issues is I'm at work and I don't really want not say I don't see my Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
I have everything coming to my job email. So is there a way to go both ways? Sent to
the recording?
Both of them.
For the recording or for what?
Anything that you email to me.
All right. I'll email you, but I can email you. Yes, I'll do it. I'll send you a link for the recording by email. Would you be able to open the recording?
Yeah, but my question was, when you email me, can it go to my job and my Gmail?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if I send you my Gmail, that way it's on both of them, because everything that I'm going to get right up front is going to be at work.
Okay.
That way I know exactly what's going on.
All right. Well, just make sure to send me your Gmail account, because I don't think I have your Gmail email.
No, because I wasn't sure if you were able to do both, send to both of them.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, that's no problem. Tommy, hello. How are you doing?
You still talking to me?
You're muted, Tommy. Oh no, I'm just agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
I'm busy. I didn't realize my my thing was off. So.
All right, now don't worry. I know you're busy. This thing is being recorded again, so don't worry about it.
All right.
So, anyways, so anybody else has any questions? Why is it so important in Capernaum that we have all our catechists, all of our volunteers setting up? Let's do it as a quiz. Which part is the one that is the most important one to make sure that your catechists have said correctly? Anyone? You can type it on the chat room or open your mic and tell me which part. Do we suggest that people change their user ID? No. Which one is the one that all your catechists should have set to the correct place?
You would like the
ministry role?
Ministry location. Ministry
the
location.
location and the ministry role, because the location in case you're getting something for free for that particular parish, so they don't have to pay. And also, I guess the location, because like my name, Michelle Sanchez, there's multiple Michelle Sanchez's in our diocese.
Yes. So ministry location, make sure that should be one of your first projects. Make sure that everyone in your parish is set to that. But also remember that this is only for you. Make sure that your ministry role is set to PCL YML. Okay, why? Because this is gonna tell Capernaum that you are in charge of these ones. So that's how you will be able to print some reports and do a couple of other things. Okay, all right. So for your catechists, and of course you also need to have here your own parish too. Okay. Now. Hold on, let me see what this is. I have a lot of screens open now. Okay. All right. So that's one of the important parts. And I started typing here, but then I thought, well, let me just do the demonstration here. But one of them is the user record or profile. Like I said, part of the genius of the people. I don't mean that sarcastic with the genius part, is that they, instead of using the terms that we are used to using, they created some new ones. So instead of calling it the profile, they called it the user record, right? But it's important that we differentiate it from the transcript. Anyone knows what the transcript is?
It's a list of all the courses they took.
Yes. So it's like when you go to college or university, and then when you finish, they have your transcript. So this is the other part, and this is the one that you were interested, not only for yourself, but for your catechists. It is the transcript. And this is where there's a list of all the courses that you have been registered for, you have taken, and have not taken. Okay, so so how do you find the transcript? Once again, let's see. It's at the top, in the menu at the top. Transcript. Remember that you're trying to remember this not only for yourself, but also for your catechists. Another way to find it, when you just log in here, it's the menu, and here is view your transcript. Okay. Now, this is where you find all the classes that you have paid for. But I want you to notice something important. Right now, right in this corner, it is what you are selecting to view. The default view is the classes that are active but not completed. That's the difference. Active is something that has not yet been completed. So here you will have the classes that, like this class, you can see that it says that it is in progress, new user orientation. I never completed it. So it says, what is the status? In progress. I have another ones here that say pending approval. I have some that I'm registered for. I guess see, isn't this interesting? I did not get credit for Activate. Don't ask me why, but it says, but that is, I guess, when it's a good case, it says that I'm registered, but it doesn't say that it's completed. Okay, so now I have to figure that out. Oh, here's the thing. It's asking me, did you complete it? Yes, but then mark it complete. See, it's a good case of, we just have to. So just by marking it complete, I guess now I have credit.
I got a question for you. Okay, I'm looking here at Capernaum, and I've got my Capernaum pulled up, and it says like the people who use it from our parish, but I'm not able to access their transcript.
Okay, I'm not sure that you're gonna have let me see, the way that you're supposed to answer it, and it's on a video, but I believe it's this. You go to learning.
Yes.
Go to reports. Where is reports?
Reports is there's standard reports in 2.0. This 2.0 is when I've received all the information that who's on it.
Oh, see, yeah, that's right.
Was shared to me.
2.0. Do you have then here you click on share with me?
Okay, I'm looking here. Okay, I found it now. So
I think this is the one that you were looking for, right? PCL, yeah. YML, Catechist Summary Report.
Yeah, I got it now. So, okay, thank you.
And this is something you can do, guys, by the way, because, if your profile is set to as a PCL, then the Capernaum knows that that it is your business to try to figure out who's there and who's not. Okay. All right. So anyway, so the transcript. So another way to find the transcript is this way here with this menu. By the way, there is an app. There's an application for your phone. I haven't used it yet, so I can tell you how good it might be, but I get plenty of the thing in the computer, so I'm not eager to download the app. But so you do transcript. So I was pontificating about the active setting here. So what do you do to when you want to see if you the classes that you have actually completed? You select completed, and now what it shows you is everything that has been completed. Notice here, status completed, status completed, status completed. So when it comes to whether or not it counts towards your certification process, it must say completed. If you are finding one of the classes in the active tab, it means that for whatever reason, maybe all you have to do is mark complete, but it's not completed, so it doesn't yet count towards your certification. Okay, so once again, you select here completed, and now it shows you everything that is completed. Okay, and I'm about to mention this part: submit external training request. That's a very important one for everybody. Okay, but before I do that, once you are here, right? If you're not quite, feeling the icons, and you get a little confused by, why is there so much stuff here, and an easier way to view it is if you go to this 3-dot menu here and you say print transcript. Even if you don't have a printer, you can just select print transcript, and notice that it's giving you an easier to read a list of the same information, and it tells you, the date of completion and all that. Okay. Now, if you want to print it on paper, then you just click here, print. But you don't necessarily have to. Okay. Now, here in the transcript, this is where you in the completed section, this is where you will find sometimes the message saying completed sufficient, theological content for certification level 1. And we'll go into the levels in a second. Okay. But this is where you should find it. And if you don't find those messages, then that's when you would get in touch with Erica or with me. And in this case, that's part of my job will be to award certification records, and award equivalencies. Maybe you took a class somewhere else, and you think that it's equivalent to the catechetical module, for instance. So you would get in touch with me and let me know that you took it. But what happens whenever you go to a training to another church or in another institution? I don't know, like St. Thomas University, whether you went there as a student or maybe they just had a one-day event on some kind of theological program. How would you do? Obviously, since you did not find that program in Capernaum, Capernaum doesn't know that you attended. So what would you do how would you let Capernaum know that you attended a class elsewhere? Anyone knows?
I guess we call you.
Hey?
Give you the information.
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you can upload, you could request for credit, but you have to give some information, a certificate, a description, who led it. I don't know because I'm in the process of doing that.
All right. So you're correct. And you're correct too, Tommy. You let me know, but not by phone. The way you let me know is by you click here when it says learning.
Yep.
And then where is it? Add external training. Add external training. When you click on add external training, it opens this form, and in this form, that's how you communicate with me. Okay, so you tell me what was the title of the course that you took, what was the description of the description of the training. Now, this is very important, right? Because what you're trying to tell me, you need to give me enough of a description to where I know whether it is equivalent to something else, for your certification, or whether it's equivalent to, it's good enough for an elective, or whether it may not qualify for certification. Now, what's an example of something that might not qualify for certification as an elective? Well, you went to a long day adoration marathon, and you stayed all night and you prayed all night for catechists. So as noble and as grateful as I would be for that kind of experience, which was a personal experience, spiritual growth, because this was not a formal class. We would not give you credit for electives. I can put it in your record, right? So that, we can know that you are, in the future, if we look at your record, we can see that you're a very devout person. But because it is not a structured class, we would not give you credit for elective. Okay. So now what qualifies for elective? There's a lot of things that would qualify, but that's part of my job. I have to kind of try to figure out whether it was something that will help you be a better catechist or not. And while, praying in adoration will help you be a better catechist by all means. That being said, it does not have a set curriculum, and it's hard to evaluate, right? To give an equivalency. So that's why it's important. So whenever you go and tell your catechists, if you have some event that you are going to, in addition to this description, ask them to save evidence. And I don't see it in terms of, you gotta convince me that you actually went, because if you tell me, I will believe you that you went, right? But if you save the program has the content of the course. The program might help me say, you know what? This actually qualifies as an equivalency for, this module. So, but that's the kind of information that I need. What was the agenda? What was the content of the course? Who was the instructor? Because again, if you went to a course that was given online by some preacher that is very renowned and has a lot of YouTube videos, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that is sanctioned by the church. That we don't necessarily know that whether this person has the credentials to be teaching something like that. But in the in the guide, right, in the bulletin, in the agenda that they gave you, if it says he's a professor of theology at blah 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 blah, okay, well that's a whole other thing. So important is that you save, evidence of it, the information of it, the instructor, the credentials, the organization that organizes it. Because guess what? We will ask you for it. When it says attachments, we will ask you to submit some kind of evidence. Now, if at some point, you don't have the evidence, I will believe you that you attended. But if I don't know what it is that you attended, how can I give you any kind of equivalence? And this has happened a lot. They told me, people have called me and say, Miguel, last year, I think in August or September, I went to this church. And in that church, there was a priest who's a teacher of St. Thomas, and he gave us a class. And it was a 3-hour class. And okay, what was the class about? Well, I don't quite remember. And okay, well, do you have anything at all? Well, no, I don't. Well, I'm sorry, right? How could I possibly, give any equivalence? It's not that I don't believe that the person attended, but I just need a little something to go. So now something important for this form is that once you get to this part, department approval, you see that there is different offices here, but the one that you will submit it to is evangelization and catechists. That's how you make sure that it gets to me rather than to the Office of Catholic Schools or the Office of Worship or any other office. Then I review it and either approve it or or tell you why I couldn't give you some time. Okay. So any questions about it? Once again, this is called Add External Training, and the way you find it is in Learning, Add External Training.
Hi, Miguel. This is Monica. Sorry, I'm on audio. Can you hear me?
Yes.
But no video. Okay. So I had a question about events. For example, I wasn't able to make it, but the evangelization of the Eucharist event that happened last Saturday, is that an example of an event that could count for something like this?
Yes. You're talking about the day of evangelization and catechesis?
Yes, that one.
Yes. Except that one, because it was organized by the office, even though it wasn't in Capernaum, we will make sure that you get the proper credit in Capernaum. Now, you're going to have to give me a couple of weeks because, there are some challenges with it. But like I shared earlier, but you said you couldn't go?
Right. I wasn't able to register for that one, but there was another event. It wasn't that one. It was like a Eucharist workshop, part of the Ministro Hispano, I believe. Oh,
yes. Last minute, that one was canceled because I guess involuntarily, I guess there was a bit of a conflict for some people wanted to go to both. And I don't know. So it was canceled. But yes, if you had attended to that one, because it was organized by the Office of Hispanic Ministry, I was already prepared to give you credit for it for a certain number of hours.
And so we would just add it in here, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
But
great.
whatever events are organized by my office, we will make sure that you get the credit. But this is especially for whenever you go, like, I know that sometimes your pastor may bring somebody to do a special class, or there's something that is becoming more and more common. There are Catholic universities abroad that have online programs. So I've actually received transcripts from a Mexican university in Monterrey, a Mexican university in Mexico City, one from Colombia, and one from Salamanca, Spain. Because people are taking now you can take these classes online, and so whatever courses you take outside of the diocese or outside of the events that you find in Capernaum, you can certainly require that we put them in your transcript for sure, and possibly give you equivalency.
Okay, I got a question for you. We have a representative from Loyola, coming in next week. to give us like an in-service on the classroom, on the textbook, would that count for anything?
Yes.
Okay. So
Because
I would have to have my catechist upload that, or?
Well, yes, we could do something. Yeah, you would. That would be a good occasion to explain to them, how to use this part. I suppose maybe part of the presentation can be you show them how to do it. And of course, since I now know what you're talking about, as a catechetical leader, you gave me the heads up. When it comes up, I know what they're talking about, right?
Okay.
And yes, I would not. Although that would be pedagogical, I guess, right? That they're teaching them how to use the textbooks.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So I would not be able to give them the equivalency for lesson design, because the module of lesson design kind of follows the archdiocesan curriculum methodology.
Right.
But I will give them credit for elective.
Okay.
And so for those of you that are not familiar, those classes that are not either a catechetical module or formation towards catechetical ministry class, everything else we call electives. And for full certification, you're required to have 20 of those hours. Okay. All right. Any other questions about Capernaum? Let me see, where does the slideshow?
So I went to the Activate Leadership Symposium, and it's on my list, but I also don't show that I got credit for it.
Do you have it in your active classes?
It's I don't. Let's go. I just saw it on the list.
Remember what I just did? Remember that I didn't have credit, and all I needed to do was click the blue button that said mark complete.
Okay, so let me go back. I gotta. It says, like on the main page, it says not started. Okay, let's see. Assign training. It's trying. I'm where it says select a session, but like I went to the whole day, so I don't know what it was trying to get me to select. And it says notify me or assign. Am I not in the right place?
No, you are in the right place, but somehow you did not get credit for attendance. So,
okay, so we were there. I had a name tag. No.
That's right. Oh yeah. Tell me what was the fifth word that the speaker said in the second hour?
I know it was the life team guy, Randy. It was awesome. It was awesome. The whole day was really great. I mean, it really was. It was.
Just send me an email, and I will figure out why you didn't get.
All right.
Okay, that's the kind of stuff that because we have it on record. It's I just have
they
to.
They paid for it as a group, like the church St. Anthony's paid for it for a group of us to go, and so maybe that was the glitch. Like I don't have an individual record, but it's showing it on my list, but it just doesn't show that I got credit for it.
Okay. All right. Well, just send me your information.
Okay.
Your user.
Right.
What I need is your user. If you have it, you know how to find your user name or number.
I think my username is Mrs. Vogel.
There you go. Okay. All right. Just to review, right? We where do we find the user name?
Where do you find it?
It's in the profile.
In my profile. Yes.
Also known as the user record. And it's now you don't see it here because you're not in the user record, you're in the bio page. So click on user record.
User record.
Here's the user ID.
It says user ID Mrs. Vogel, but it's all like capital M, capital V.
Yeah, just email me that one. Just email me that one. But I'll take care of it. That's an easy fix. And, by the way, that's something important to tell your catechists too, that there's a lot of parts of Capernaum that require still user input or administrative input of human beings. Therefore, there can be plenty of mistakes. So tell them to be on guard. So it is great that you did check, and to have their own, little record. And I'll show you in a second for catechists. I developed a couple of forms to help them keep track of, whether they have taken classes and they're ready for certification or not. Okay. All right. Now let me go back to C7. All right. Now this is a something that is new in Capernaum, is the ability. Actually, I know this is something that a lot of PCLs, parish catechetical leaders, had been asking for. Is there a way for us to pay for people that don't have a credit card, or just because we want to pay for them? There is this video. And by the way, where do we find this video? Anyone remembers? Where do you find all the videos that train you? On YouTube, yes. And I have the links here. Remember, this slideshow will be in Google Classroom. You can always access it. But we have this, we certainly do have this YouTube channel with all the videos for Capernaum. And the particular video is this one right here, the one that I'm gonna show you. But also another page, what's the other place where you can find a lot of videos to get started?
The Archdiocese website.
There you go. Right. And the Archdiocese website. Let me see. Let's do a little test here. But where do we find? Oh, we found it here. Okay, I lost it. But where do we find the link to Capernaum Online?
Resources.
Resources. There you go. Resources. Capernaum Online. And so this, besides the fact that your catechist will be exposed to the Archdiocese website and come across other resources, if you scroll down, there are some of the basic videos here, right? All of these basic videos. Let's go back here. And I'm guessing, Tommy, that you already watched this video because it's the one that you were asking. This is when you figured out how to run the reports.
Yes, I watched the video and then I played around with it and finally got it to work. So,
yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just play it. It's not very long. It's about 3 minutes. I'm not sure that everybody is aware of this feature, and I think it's probably the most important feature that is available to PCL. So let's just take a minute to watch it. And plus, I'm gonna run really quick, and I'll be right back. Let me know if you hear it. Can you hear it?
Hi. This year in Capernaum, we're rolling out 2 new features for parish.
Yes.
Can you hear it? Yeah. Okay.
Catechetical leaders and youth ministry leaders. These include running reports on your catechist and volunteers to see who is there and what they need as far as formation goes. And then also using what's called the training inventory, which will allow you to purchase training for more than one person and assign it to people as long as they're at the same ministry location or employment location as you. So let's dive into Capernaum and look at how we can get you set up for these features. First thing we're going to do is show that I'm logged in as one of our PCLs, Annette O'Driscoll. What you're going to want to do is to make sure that your profile is set up properly to be able to have these permissions. To do that, go to the navigation menu, click the Home button, and then click the User Record. It'll load your user record, and what you want to do is look under the Organizational Structure section and see if the ministry role is set to PCL-YML. If it's not, go ahead and click the Edit Record button in the bottom right-hand corner. Scroll back down to the Organizational Structure section. And in here, if it's blank like this, simply click the Expand icon and search for PCL and click Search. And then click on the title. This will add you into that ministry role. Once you've done that, what you'll need to do is go and log out and then log back in for those permissions to take effect. Once that happens, you'll be in here and you'll be able to see several new things in your navigation menu. The first will be underneath Learning. Under learning, you'll see that there is a manage training inventory button. And then under the reports, you'll see that there are several reports. What you want to do for the reports on people is go to reporting 2.0 and shared with me. Here you'll be able to run a parish user report, which will tell you everyone in the system who has your parish, the same ministry location as you, set for their profile. And same with the PCL Catechist Summary Report. Anyone who has the same ministry location field as you, in this case, St. Edward's, you'll be able to run a report and see all the items that they have in their profile and all the trainings that they have completed. Now, when it comes to the purchasing training inventory, which is a big one, here's how this would work. You go to the training you want to purchase. In this case, we'll say activate. Once you find the details and the one that you want, you click add to cart. And here a new menu will pop up where you can say myself, who are you purchasing this for? Myself, or for others. And let's say you want to purchase 10 copies. You want to bring 10 people from your parish to this. You'd click submit, go through the shopping cart process, checking out, going to PayPal, paying, coming back. And then once you're back in here, what I'm going to do is jump over to our pilot site and show you how this would work. So in here, let's say that you want to manage that inventory. There's two ways. One, you can go to the shopping cart. Under options, click manage view inventory, or under the menu and learning and manage inventory, it'll take you to a page that looks like this. You'll see the training that you purchased, how many you purchased, how many have been used, how many you have available to give out. And then from there, you can select the option of assign inventory. From here, you'll be able to assign it to anyone who has the same ministry location as you, or the same employment location as you. Those will be the only people that you will see. Then you would come, find that person, check their name, scroll down, click submit, and then that person will have been assigned. Once they'll get an email notifying them, and then once they have logged in, then one of your spaces will go from available to used. And that's how you manage your training inventory in Capernaum.
All right. So, can you remember all that?
Hmm.
No, I know you can't. But at least you know that the future. Now you know that the future exists. And once you're ready to do it, you know where the video is. And if not, that's where we can help you out. Okay. All right. So now let me. I guess we already saw the adding external training. But let me just go into the 3 levels of certification right now, just at least briefly, because it's one of the areas where being able to run the report this time, you would be able to see on yourself and on everyone else how close they are to certification. But how is it that we know, when somebody is going to, is ready for certification? Here's another quiz. So how do you find the Office of Evangelization and Catechesis from this page?
Offices and ministries.
Office and ministries.
Uh-huh. Then?
It's on the pastoral and educational ministries.
Uh-huh.
Catechesis and evangelization. Office, sorry, yeah.
Uh-huh. Office of Catechesis and Evangelization. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great. Now, on this menu on the left, I have reorganized a couple of tabs, and it's by no means complete. But there's one tab that I kind of consolidated into one, and it's called Catechist Formation and Certification. So that is one that you want to explore, especially if you haven't seen it in a while. That is one that I try to simplify and organize to give a clearer view of what it takes to get certified. Here, let me just scroll down for now, bring you to this diagram. And it is in this page for you to view, and it will hopefully help you visualize the process of certification. And as you know, there were really no changes to the certification process. The only thing that changed was that now the office organizes in 3 levels. Just to give people a sense of accomplishment, of coming to important milestones. And this is that's really the separation into levels. Now,
Miguel, I have a question for you. Okay, on the catechist training, let's say I have a lady who's a teacher, a public school teacher. Could she count her years of experience? Okay, and then she also has some, obviously pedagogy, teaching experience and all this. Could she just send you like a transcript and have you evaluated, or what could we do there?
Yes, what she would do is send me her transcripts.
Yes.
And say, she has plenty of years teaching in a public school. So she's not sending me anything with theological content. What she's sending me is pedagogical experience.
Yes.
So that would be the modules. Okay. So I might be able to give her credit for several of the catechetical modules.
Right.
The ones that are more pedagogical. Probably lesson design, assessment strategies, human and spiritual development. Those are the modules that she would get credit for. You like that, Sanchez family? Who's Sanchez family? Monica, right?
I'm sorry, you had a question?
That's you, Monica? Because I saw that you put an emoji with...
Oh, yes, I just am enjoying this flow chart here.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, no. Please do. I was just checking, what it was. Okay. Anyways, so...
Do you have that flow chart where you could email that?
Well, it is here. Yeah, I can certainly email it to you, but it's here on the website, like we said, in the page called Catechist Formation and Certification.
Is that something we can print out?
Yeah. Okay. But I'll be happy to email it to you, by all means. And although I will say that there's a little issue with this form for level 3, is like somebody forgot to put there the catechesis of sexuality training, which is required, but I don't see it here. But anyways, so just looking at this chart, just want you to note how there's basically 3 areas of formation that are taken into account for the different levels. The first one is theological content, okay, which, as the term says, are classes about theology, which, since we are theology teachers essentially, well, we should probably know something about it, right? And it says for 30 hours. Now, what is the program that the Archdiocese has in place for many years to teach theological content to all Christians, to all Catholics in the Archdiocese?
I don't remember the exact name, but it's the Catechetical Framework one?
No.
No,
it's the FTCM. FTCM, I think.
Correct. FTCM, that stands for?
Formation towards
Formation.
Tell me, right now, in this semester, is the only parish that has a presential and in-person FTCM program going on. So,
yes.
Tell me, formation towards catechetical ministry. Yep. And so, how many sessions per semester?
15.
15. How long is every session?
2 hours.
2 hours. So, one semester of formation FTCM gives you the 30 hours required of theological content. Okay, so to complete the theological content plus, just you probably already know this, but part of the program of Formation Towards Christian Ministry is that every semester you have to go to a Saturday day of reflection. That would take care. And how long is that day of reflection? 6 hours. So by completing one semester of FTCM with, with the day of reflection, you are taking care of the theological content and the days of prayer or reflection. That leaves you, there's only one thing that you're missing for Catechism Level 1, 6 hours of catechetical modules. Now, anybody remembers how many modules are there altogether? It's like the commandments.
There's 10.
10, right? Now, they are also 2 hours long. So how many modules do you need for Level 1 catechist certificate? Three. Right? So now we assume that you're already teaching. So given that assumption that you are teaching already, CCE, then all you need for Level 1 is to complete one semester of FTCM and 3 catechetical modules, any 3 modules. At this time, we're not requiring that they are taken in a particular sequence. So, but that's all you need. That's all they need. Okay, one full semester of FTCM, 3 catechetical modules. Now, I want to show you this. I created this little checklist. It's in the same page. Now, what I just explained to you is explained here in text, but if you don't want to read it, I don't blame you. But you can click here where it says PDF fillable checklist. And if you pay attention here, what is it that it tells you? Well, first, of course, I tell you that this checklist is to help you keep track of your own training so that you know when you are ready for Level 1 certification. And you will notice that there are 3 sections, right? 3 parts of training. Theological formation. And I'm explaining to you that it is through FTCM. And by the way, this checklist is for personal purposes. It's not for you to send it to me. It's for you to keep track of it. So if you are one of these lucky persons that are in St. Teresa's that are attending the in-person FTCM, once you complete, there is space for, there are 3 lines, 3 rows. So here, what is, tell me, do you remember what was the name of the first class?
For this semester was Catholic Beliefs.
Oh, Catholic Beliefs.
Yeah.
So if I went to my classes of Catholic Beliefs, and did I complete? Notice that it says here, did I complete all sessions? Yes, I did, right? Because this is a form for yourself. This is how you're telling yourself, yes, I went to all 5 sessions. But maybe, maybe you missed one. So this is where you might make a note self saying, need to take. I missed class 4 because that's the day that the Astros were playing the World Series, and so I didn't go to class. So now I have to take it again, right? Well, take it because I didn't take it. Once again, this is meant to be a checklist for their own purposes, so that they themselves know when it is up, when they are ready for certification. The second class for the semester, what was it? What is it on? Probably is it?
This is the next class. This class is
Church
Christology. Christology.
Oh, Christology. Christology, and I did go to yes, all 5. So I keep making notes to myself. Did I go to the day of reflection? Again, all of these are notes for me so that I know when I am up. And then I went to the day of evangelization and catechesis, and I took the 3 modules, right? Framework. Did I complete it? Yes, right? So in this scenario, and part of the reason why to have this checklist is not only so that they know, that it's coming, and so they know when to expect the certification, but also, like I said, there's still plenty of human input in this record, so there's plenty of opportunity for mistakes, right? Framework, lesson design. Did I complete it? Yes, because I went to the whole day. So even if Miguel somehow did not give me credit, I know that I was there, right? Lesson design and no sé. Catechesis, did I complete it? Yes, right? So am I ready to get certified level 1? Well, I'll be, well, except notice that because I missed this number 4 class, Capernaum is not going to notice. So Capernaum is not going to tell me that I'm ready for certification. But if I do keep this form, then I will remember that I have to take it. Because what I keep hearing constantly is, Miguel, why am I not getting my certification? I went to FTCM, and 2 years ago. And did you go to all the classes? I think so. So there's that level of, well, I think so, but if it's something that happened 2 years ago, very easily we could forget. Now, if the mistake was made by us, then if you have your form and you click there that yes, you completed it, well then we will honor it. Okay. So, anyways, this is a form again that is located in the in what page? Anyone remembers? Catechist formation and certification. Okay, so the process is explained. Then there is also the electives. Now, by the way, electives are important for level 3. You will notice that in okay, so level 1, it is 1 semester of FTCM and 3 catechetical modules. Level 2, anyone wants to guess what does it take to get certified level 2? 1 more semester of FTCM, 3 more modules. That's all you need. Now, to get certified for catechetical for level 3, that will take a little extra because yes, it requires the 3rd semester of FTCM, the rest, the other 3 catechetical modules, but also it will require 20 hours of electives. And what it will also need that is not on this chart is the course of Catechesis of Human Sexuality. Something important for you to know is that all these programs, FTCM, you can take to the parish. Now that one, I agree. It's a big project because they require you to have at least 50 people, and they require you to have and it can be a big commitment financially and in different ways. But the great thing about it is that it is now offered virtually. So even if there is not, an FTCM center nearby you, you can just take the classes. I think they are on Tuesdays, and they are virtually. They are VILTs, virtually instructor-led trainings by Zoom, and you can register there. So you will notice that I have the link for that here, Formation Towards Catechetical Ministry and Catechetical Modules. Okay. Now, something that I want you to know, something that I'm working on is to start, because a lot of people tell me, okay, well, I already got the modules, I already got the FTCM, but I need electives. I need elective hours. Well, one way to find elective hours is to go to Capernaum and just do a search, right, for different trainings. And you will notice that when you log into Capernaum, simply just by coming to the learner home, usually it gives you some suggestions here of what is more popular. Here are the different semesters. Here's an in-person class for extraordinary ministers of the Eucharist. So it will give you some options here. But I know that is not, the best way. But something that I will start doing to make easier to find electives is I am going to start teaching, starting in January, courses. A series where I'm going to call elective nights. which, at least once or twice a month, to have a topic online, by Zoom, in which either I or someone else will teach an elective topic. But if you went, for instance, to the day of evangelization and catechesis, and you took anything that was not a catechetical module, you will get elective credits for it. Okay. So how confused are you guys in this part, on this chart? It's not that hard, is it, Tommy?
I got a question for you. Okay. We had a person go to the training that the Office of Worship did. Okay. Can they count that, or how does that get put on to Capernaum, or will it?
That is a good question. I mean, because they registered in Capernaum, so
Yes.
they should already have credit in Capernaum. Here's one where one of the possible human errors could come into play. For the system to automatically count it, when the event was created in Capernaum, there is a box that they had to fill in.
Right.
If the person that created the event did not fill it in correctly, it will not automatically, count it. That's why I think that these checklists are very, very important. Okay. So if you come to this, to the what is it, level 2, if you come to the level 3 form, hold on. In these short videos, what's it? What is it? Checklist. Hold on. I don't. Okay, let me show you. I made a mistake and I put this is the incorrect form, but let me show you. I do have the correct form, and I will show it to you for record, and I will fix this tomorrow when I get to the office. Give me 1 second to show you the actual checklist for level 3. And I can probably just share them with you here so you can download them and have them without having to go to the website. Okay. All right. So this is the actual level 3. It's in Spanish, but you get the idea. So after you have space for the 3rd semester and the day of reflection and the last 3 modules, if you keep scrolling down, then I have this space to write down, keep track of the electives. Okay. So what I would suggest is that even though it is in Capernaum, and even though the person, maybe I'm not being kind enough, maybe they did the correct job. But if somebody by mistake, one time when they are setting up the training in Capernaum, they forget to check that box, it will not be counted automatically. So that's why I really believe that these checklists not only, give your catechists also some accountability to be able to, keep track of what they are doing, but also, it protects them for human error. So ideally, that would count, but I think that, it really needs to become sort of a culture in the diocese to keep track of the electives that you are taking, so that when the time comes, if Capernaum is not giving you the credit automatically, you can, just send an email and we can fix it. Notice that now this is the checklist for level 3. So on the front page, you have space for the 3rd semester of FTCM, the day of reflection for FTCM, and then the catechetical modules. But in the back, that's where you would have a space to keep track of your electives and the catechesis of sexuality. By the way, I think I started saying this, but remember that each one of these trainings you can take to your parish. Okay. you can take them. Like this course, Catechesis of Human Sexuality, you can. This is one program that you could schedule, and that program in particular is organized by the Office of Ministry to Adolescents. But I think that all they require is for 10 people to be there, and they will take it to your parish. In addition to that, any classes, any workshops that you saw, advertised for the day of catechesis evangelization, you can take them to your parish, right? I mean, this is only just, of course, the big event is fun. Or hopefully it was some fun. I know that at the beginning, the registration, and we underestimated how many people would come at one time. But other than that, it was an awesome event. But all the people that were not able to register or to attend, you can take this workshop to your parish. And by the way, I don't know, whether you know this, but basically all that is required is that you pay the instructor a stipend. The stipend is about $100, and whatever copies it costs, whatever it costs to make the copies for the handouts, that's usually all the costs that are associated. So any of those workshops, and I'm telling you something that I wanted to mention again. If I ask you to guess what was the workshop that filled the fastest, classroom management for catechists. I mean, like I said, we had ethics, we had bioethics, we had sexuality, we had modules, we had a lot of stuff. Which is the one module that filled within the first week and a half? Classroom management for catechists. So what it's telling us, and I'm guessing that this might be true in your parish, is that if you were to take that kind of training to your parish, they would love you. All you have to do is just get in touch with me, and I can give you the contact information for the instructors, and you can check the date, or I can even just be the intermediary there, and help you out. All you're required to do is to pay the stipend for the instructor, and any of the workshops that you saw, you can take them to your parish. All right. Any other questions about catechist certification? I know we're going a little long, but hopefully this helps, right? Now, obviously, in Capernaum, the best way to kind of check your own certification situation and the certification of your catechist, well, we saw it is by checking the records, right? And Capernaum will, in the transcript, and see, now I have like 20 windows open, so I don't know which one is the right one, but well, it's probably this one. Yes. So here in the transcript, which again you can find here, transcripts. And then remember to check on now, something important is, if something is on this page, is because there is something missing. Maybe we didn't mark you present, or maybe you just have to check that you completed or something. But if it's in this opening page, if it is marked as active, it means that you have not received credit for it yet. So to see what you have received credit for, you have to go to completed, and that's where you will see it. And these little icons, that's the one that will appear once you have completed the full semester of FTCM. There will be an icon like this saying completed semester 1 of FTCM. If you completed all the classes, if you don't have that icon, then hopefully you kept up with the checklists, and then you can call to verify. I'm about to send you here. Let's see, format. Okay, I'm going to send you these checklists here so that you can have them. Although you know that they are also in that website. All right. Any questions? It's 8:06, so we're pretty much over time right now. But if you have any specific questions. No. Okay.